Sometimes I sit back and think about this. I watched a movie the other day, and I was like, what happened to our villains? It really was bothering me more than anything else because I remember when I was a kid, even a young teenager, and even a young adult, that villains were scary and they were threatening. Villains are the reason why movies are so good. I believe that most villains are more memorable than the heroes, if you really think about it. Like when you think of Star Wars, yes, you have Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo. But most of the time, people are truly thinking, like, dang, Darth Vader is like the character for the movie. We don't have that anymore. And I'm just wondering why? Why do we live in such a time where people are more obsessed over making villains just misunderstood? That's my thought. I'm like, why does every single character have to be misunderstood? The ability to change a character to make the villain misunderstood because they had a little bad trauma, and that's the excuse why they killed millions and millions and millions of characters, people, everything like that. It's because they were misunderstood. Now, when I think of like an anti-hero, I think of characters more like Thanos. Was Thanos truly a villain? No, I don't think Thanos was a villain. What Thanos was doing was, yeah, well, somewhat like a villain. But also, it's like, man, he kind of has a point of why he's doing it, but he's definitely doing it in the wrong way. Like, with the Infinity Gauntlet, he could just use it and just help the whole universe of what he wanted to do. Instead of sacrificing half the universe, he could have just gave the universe more resources of what they needed. That's what he could have done. He literally could have ended like world hunger if he wanted to, but he didn't. And that's where I'm sitting there thinking about like, what is the difference between an anti-hero and a hero? What happened to our villains even that to the point where when we see villains in new shows and movies, they're not a threat. Like when I watched Star Wars, the newest sequel trilogy, I know people talk about it a lot and always try to say the bad things about it. And I try going in with an open mind every single time when I watch a new movie, show, anything that involves media. I try to go with an open mind because I want to see and watch why this is good or why this is bad. I wanted to form my own opinion. And coming from a guy who doesn't really care too much about Star Wars, I was like, all right, we're going to give the sequel trilogy a chance. And my first thought was, I hope this villain is badass. I hope he is like a Darth Vader. We didn't get that. Instead, we got a character that was too emotional, and revealed his just showed his weak-mindedness constantly. He never was stoic. He never was intimidating. And when he even tried to become intimidating, they made a joke out of it, and it stripped away what he really was. It was awful when he would freak out and destroy things, throw fits like a child. It stripped away him being a villain. You already knew, I don't like this guy. He's not a good villain. He's just a man baby. And that's what drives me insane when I get to watch this stuff. It makes me upset. Then you compare him to somebody like, Darth Vader. Darth Vader and him, it's not even close, the competition between the two. Darth Vader alone, just the presence of him on screen, oh, this dude is him. And Kylo Ren was never like that character. When you first introduced Kylo Ren, I was like, oh man, this guy's going to be cool. And then the more and more we kept watching Kylo Ren play out through the first movie even, no. I think the other problem is when you make a villain, especially nowadays, the villains are never a threat to the hero. They always lose so easily. Kylo loses to Rey in the first movie. He loses to her so easily, even though he's a trained Jedi and she is not. Another movie that I have seen plenty of times that they compare both is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel fights the villain in the beginning of the movie. She beats him because she has anger issues, and she still beats him. End of the movie, no conflict, she still beats him. It just really strips away what the hero's journey is when you do this. I think one of the best examples for hero journeys are honestly, anime. Anime does that plenty of times, and it makes it actually enjoyable to watch. I never will understand the idea of making your villain look weak to the heroes right off the get-go. I think that takes away the hero's journey and just strips every single thing that we love about heroes. When I watch a movie and the main character is our hero, I want to see them struggle because I can relate to them and see them overcome anything eventually. That is what a hero's journey is, and it strips away everything when they don't need to do that hero's journey. It just really upsets me when I see that kind of stuff. I'm just don't understand. And it just really just pains me to see the hero's journey is dead and the villains that we once loved is dying as well. When the new Mufasa trailer came out and Mufasa wasn't even part of the pride with Scar and he was just an orphan and he's not actually related to Scar, even though in the first movie they are. Scar said, I got the genes while you got the strength, and that's why I didn't get the throne. That's stuff that I'm like, wow, that's powerful stuff. But when you strip it away to nothing anymore, it breaks my heart as a fan of movies. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of seeing these villains be misunderstood. Why is Cruella de Vil of every character a misunderstood character when all she wants to do is kill puppies and then wear them for coats? Why is that a thing where people are like, oh yeah, let's do this? It just really breaks my heart when I see things like that. It's hard to get behind when you watch a new movie and the villain, you already know how the villain's going to act. He reveals his weakness so fast that you're just like, how can I get behind this man? And you can't. You truly can't, and it's just a sad reality we live in. I just don't know where to go from here. Maybe one day we will return back to greatness to see the villains that everyone wants to see and the heroes that people can look up to. The Luke Skywalker, the Han Solos, the Princess Leias, the Aragorns, the Frodos, the Gandalfs, the Ripleys, and even Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dutch from The Predator. I hope one day we can get into this and see more of these characters. And the thing is, everyone's struggling with watching these live action movies and missing out on good villains, good heroes. Watch some anime, because that does the great job of villain. I'll see you guys next time.